shining on the city lights.
Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone's having a great day today. In today's video, guys, we're just gonna jump right in. Today I'm pretty excited only because I am waiting on a package from Bomb Nails and I can't wait till it gets here. I'm keep getting notifications from the tracking number that it's in transit, so it's on its way to my home and I'm very, very excited. So I will be dedicating a video to that delivery, but at this time what I wanted to do is kind of revisit a method I haven't done in a very, very long time, but as of recently, and I'm not sure if you guys have noticed in my videos, when I do the nails on my practice hand, even though they're good practice hands, the wells on the fingertips have stretched out to the point where the nail just doesn't want to fit snugged anymore. And so I'm going to revisit a method I haven't done in a very, very long time. I want to say maybe about 9 months now that I haven't done it, probably more. And I can't remember the last time I did this, but I'm going to risk one of my Ready Wanna hands doing this old method, and I am going to follow the instructions that they've put in their little packets when you purchase a hand on how to glue the base tips, which that is what's the purpose of this video. If you're interested, you know, you can go ahead and continue watching on how I do it. It's pretty simple. It's pretty much the way they do it. I just kind of sanitize the hand, make sure it's nice and clean, pick out the right base tips, glue them on, and basically they become almost like a permanent nail on the actual practice hand. And I will also show you how I add a tip on top of it so that way I can do a nail set. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and use my original Red Iguana. I got this on sale. These are their refurbished hands. So that means that once upon a time, either there was something wrong with them, they fixed it, or maybe they didn't come out the right color, or, you know, there's just very little things wrong with it, and so they sold it at a lower price. So I purchased this one on a sale. I believe it was like maybe, I want to say 30% off. I can't remember. I'll try and find the video and put the information here on the screen. But I also got an additional 10% because I use Zule's Nails code. I will link her channel down below so you can go ahead and access her discount code of 10% for Red Iguana. And so I had that extra 10% off on top of it. So I ended up getting a pretty decent deal for it. But it's the original. It's not the 3.0. I think this is the 2.0 or the original. I can't remember. Once again, I will link the video of when I unbox this hand down below. And what I did is I magnetized it. I followed Miss Momo's Nails Creations hack on how to magnetize the nails, and so I will link her channel down below so you guys can go ahead and check her out. It came very, very handy. I'm glad that she did that hack, because I would have, even though this is simple, right? Anyone can think about gluing something on there, but I didn't think of it. And if she hadn't thought of it, I would have never been able to remember, oh, I can use that glue and that primer and make my magnetized hand. So I'm glad that I saw that hack, and I will, like I said, link her channel down below so you guys can go ahead and check her out. And so I'm able to actually now use this half hand on my new 3.0 stand for their new hands. Okay, so I'm going to be using this hand today, and I'm going to be showing you how I prep the hand. It's nothing difficult, but in case you were curious and you haven't tried this method with your practice hand, and to be completely honest, it works with any silicone hand. Okay, it doesn't have to be the Red Iguana. It can be any silicone hand. Okay, and any tips. It doesn't have to be their base tips. It's any tips, any silicone hand. What's going to make the difference is the items that I'm going to use to do it. So what I first want to do is I want to clean the hand. And with that, I'm going to go in with some alcohol. 99% isopropyl alcohol. And I'm going to just clean the nails and make sure that there's nothing, you know, on the surface of them, so that way I can cleanly glue my tips in, okay? But before I do that, I would like to first pick out the base tips, which thankfully they already have option for that. Like, they actually give you, you know, the bags that indicate pinky, middle, ring finger, pinky, pointer, sorry. So index, middle finger, ring finger, and pinky, they actually already have baggies in a set for your half hand, okay? So if you are interested in getting the original half hand, it's definitely worth it. These are pretty durable if you know how to take care of them. I know I've seen some feedback about the durability of the hand not actually working for some people, but I think that if you know how to treat your hand, if you're not, I don't think you would take a human finger and twist the crap out of them. I don't think that you would do a human hand and do that. I don't, you know, you got to treat this as if this was an actual hand and be careful with the ligaments. So I'm not going to do anything excessive. I may, you know, bend the finger down to get those other fingers out of the way, but that's the most I will ever do. Okay, that is the most I will ever do, is get the other fingers out of the way. But I would never pull them this way, because that's going to, what is the correct word? Mess around with the integrity of what's keeping the wire in place, if that makes sense. So anyhow, if you know how to take care of your hand, and this is any silicone hand, it can last you a very long time. Okay, so thankfully they already give us the tips, so I just want to get them ready to glue them on. So this is for the pointer, and the good thing about it is that it has the letter on there in case you ever mix them up. It has the I for index on there. It has the M on the one that says middle for middle finger on it, so you never mix them up. See, I can't get with long nails. Goodness, I can't wait to do my nails again. So it has the M on there for middle. And what's good about these base tips is if you glue them on, it's going to last you a very long time. And I'm going to show you a trick on how I make my base tips last. It's been a while I haven't done it, but I'm going to try and show you guys everything I do today. So there's an R for the ring finger and the P for the pinky. I'm just going to take these tips and kind of use them as the base tips. And if you know how to, if you've ever done this method before, comment down below how it's worked for you. I know that it's worked perfectly fine for me. I think with a different silicone hand, the reason I stopped doing it was because I ruined that specific hand in trying to remove a set I already had. Okay, so it made it a little bit difficult because of the way I was removing it. It had nothing to do with the hand. It's, you know, the user. It's always the user, because an item can work properly as long as you know how to use it, unless it's really, really bad. But my point is, if you know how to take care of your hand will last. If you know how to glue the tips, the base tips will last. If you know how to remove the sets over the base tips, it will last. So what I did was I started getting a little too aggressive, not applying the tips, you know, aligned perfectly, and so the glue kind of seeped under and got stuck to the base tip. So I'm gonna try my best to show you how I do everything, and hopefully, you know, it'll work out for you guys. But what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna go ahead and clean the hands, or at least the area where I plan to glue my tips. I just don't want anything risking the opportunity of me being able to glue the actual base tips. Now the alcohol is not going to compromise, there you go, the integrity of the silicone, because it's just disinfecting pretty much. So now that I have that clean, the one thing that's going to matter on getting your tips, your base tips to glue is the glue and primer that you choose to do it with. Now, Red Iguana, and I'm sure you are aware of this, has the Gorilla Glue base tips and primer. It's a silicone primer. It's not a regular primer that you put on a human hand. It's a primer specific for silicone. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab that primer. And they sell this in a set as well, so you're able to get the primer, the glue, and the base tips for your hand. This is the primer I speak of. I obviously tried all different types of primers thinking, oh, any primer would work. A primer is a primer. But no, it's a primer specifically for a silicone hand. So I found that their work perfectly fine, so I purchased theirs. You can get this glue anywhere. So, but they have been able to make it more convenient and sell it in a pair along with some tips depending on which one you pick. So I bought it from them along with the base tips. So now that my silicone hand is clean, I'm gonna go ahead and prime one at a time. I'm gonna show you one first so that way you guys can see how I do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and prime just where I want to glue the base tips. Okay, let that dry for a second. Now I like to put the tip in this way. I just feel like it makes better sense for me. So what I like to do is put the glue on the tip. I don't like to put it on the silicone. I only put just a little bit here at the tip where I want the tip to end up on the finger. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it in up and push in as far as I would like, and then slowly bring it down. Now I'm gonna hold it down for about, I wanna say 60 seconds, 40 to 60 seconds. And once that time is up, you can let go and the base tips will be stuck to the silicone hand. So there we go. So it is glued on, and you're gonna repeat the steps obviously with all of them until they're all glued.
I know I can be unkind, but you're not always understanding. I like to take my time, but time is what you're always chasing. I know I like to hide, but you're not always keen on seeking. You said you're up for the fight, but I would rather keep on pretending. I feel the divide between you and I, like the distance between the dark and light. But just as the dawn is both day and night.
And there we go. We have our base tips. All right, you guys. So now that we have our base tips on, I'm going to show you what I use to create a nail over the base tips. And those are the ones that we use to do our sets with, and you're able to remove and keep and remain these base tips on the nail hand. So what you're gonna need obviously are some of these backings for your press-on nails and tips. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna size them. Obviously these are not the base tips, so I have to figure out the sizes, and I think I have an idea.
Like the distance between the dark and light, just as the dawn is both day and night. Maybe I can make you mine. I feel the divide between you and I, like the distance between the dark and light, just as the dawn is both day and night. Maybe I can make you mine.
right, so we have our tips that we're actually going to be doing looks with. Now I'm sizing them right now. Obviously I was just trying to make sure that I pick the ones that are snug, that fit sidewall to sidewall, that isn't going to affect me being able to glue tips. So now that we know which sizes, I'm going to go ahead and remove them. Let's see, hopefully it'll let me take it out. There we go. Come on. I don't know why this was sticky. Is it not dry? I don't think it's dry. So I think I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit before I do this because I don't want to ruin the base tips. Oh. I think I'm gonna let this one sit for a little bit. I don't know why it didn't permanently, it didn't dry like these other ones. I'm not sure why, but I don't want to mess around with it and then end up tearing my silicone hand. So I'm gonna let this dry for a little bit and we'll be right back to do the remainder. Okay, you guys, so here I had to do a voiceover, you guys, because my daughter wanted to be in the room watching my TV. Anyhow, what I'm doing now is I've made sure that the base tips were glued properly onto the silicone hand, and now I'm selecting the backings, or should I say the sticky tabs, that's what I'm going to call them, for press-ons, sizing them according to the finger and how well they fit the nail, the base nail, so that way I can now put the actual nail tip that I'm going to use for my set onto the base tips. Okay, so that's pretty much all I'm doing. Then I'm going to be taking out, obviously, the little plastic that comes on there and then adding each tip on top. And that's pretty much all I'm doing. And if I need to say anything else, I'll be back. I'm just going to let you guys watch.
Two separate time zones. Either way, we going all night long. Up late, smiling at your iPhone. I know the memes that I sent got you laughing your ass off. You still buzzing off last call, gassing you up like fast car. Check one, room to you. I'ma come scoop you. True, let's rendezvous. Skip all that waiting, I'm coming to you. Swoop you at 10, have you back home in June. Shotgun the coupe, destination no more. Yeah, yeah. See you smile everywhere I go. You're the only one I wanna hold. If you're down to ride, then I'm down to roll. Ride around and kick it like a rodeo. Yeah, yeah. We can make the news or we can let go. Ain't no need to do a single thing just cause they say so. What the hell do they know?
Okay, you guys, so here I just kind of wanted to give you another option instead of using the tips the way that I did as the tip to use for your application or the design you want to do. You can also go in with a full cover tip and just kind of slightly put it into the wells and use that sticky tab to stick it onto the base tip. So that's also another method you can use instead of having to glue tips and you're just afraid that it could kind of mess up your hand because it might seep through the base tip, because it has happened to me. This is yet another option. So you just need longer full cover tips, and excuse the background, my kids are home, and that's pretty much all that I'm showing you here.
With the feels, right or wrong, you know I keep it black and white with you like rap shirt.
And here I just wanted to also show you the nail file, the metal nail file that I have is from Revlon. You can get this at a local CVS, Walgreens, a pharmacy, or local nail supply. Anyone will do, but I specifically like this one because I can actually wedge it in between the base tip and the tip that I use for the design, and this is how I remove it. It's effective for me. I don't know about anybody else. The way that I've always done it, this is the way I've always taken it out. So now, mind you, it is just the regular tip. The design is not actually on, so it would be a little bit different, but that's the way I remove it. And maybe I will go ahead and do a design on them to show you how with the design I will remove it. But the reason I love this metal file, and I'm not sure by this angle you can tell, it's kind of curved. It's perfect to wedge it in between the base tip and the actual tip that I'm using for the actual design. So that's the reason why I love this file, and I think it fits perfectly. And that's pretty much it, guys. So I want to thank you all for always showing support to my channel. I really appreciate every single one of you. I know I haven't been able to keep track of responding to everyone, but I promise you I will be responding to every single comment on the videos. I'm just a little behind, but guys, thank you for always giving me your time and making me a part of your day. Thank you for being a part of mine. I hope you are safe. I hope you are blessed, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye, guys.
Late smiling at your eyes.